What if the very places we yearn for, the memories we cling to, are actually the things holding us captive? Today, we're embarking on a powerful exploration of how the past can both define and, well, imprison us, and the profound journey towards release. Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack the profound and on the surprising. Experience a unique two-voice AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM, which helps us quickly distill core themes and narrative structures from complex texts for deeper, more dynamic book analysis. And actually, as we delve into these themes of memory and letting go, we invite you to explore more AI book analysis like this on our Mindful Moments YouTube channel. It's designed to inspire reflection and, rational thought, expanding on themes like the ones we'll discuss today. So today, our focus is Ann Patchett's acclaimed 2019 novel, The Dutch House. This is literary fiction, a powerful family saga. It wasn't just a bestseller, it was a finalist for the 2020 Pulitzer Prize for Fiction, widely praised for its emotional depth and narrative craft.
Yeah, it really is quite something. What's truly compelling about The Dutch House is how Patchett meticulously crafts the story of these siblings, Danny and Maeve Conroy. Their lives are just undeniably shaped by the profound loss of their mother, then the arrival of a stepmother, and ultimately their eventual exile from their childhood home, the opulent Dutch house. The book really delves into how memory, resentment, and that deep longing for home can both shape and paradoxically imprison us.
That idea of memory as both a foundation and a cage, that's fascinating. So for Danny and Maeve, how does this tension actually play out within the story?
Well, the Dutch house itself becomes this really potent symbol. A lost paradise, yes, absolutely, but also a constant reminder of what they've lost. It's essentially a prison of memory for them. After their mother, Elna, leaves to serve the poor, there's a kind of abandonment that deeply scars them, their father remarries Andrea, and this leads to the siblings' disinheritance and their forced exile from the house. So for years, Danny and Maeve, who are incredibly bonded, they're just stuck. They literally park outside the house.
Right, just sit there looking at it.
Yeah, unable to truly let go of their past or, fully embrace their futures. It's this profound fixation.
And it's not until much, much later, actually after Maeve's death, that Danny finds some measure of acceptance and release. The narrative itself seems to mirror the struggle, doesn't it? It's Danny's retrospective first-person account, and it's constantly moving fluidly through time as he and Maeve revisit the house and their memories over and over. Those recurring motifs, like their regular returns to the house, Maeve's portrait, those locked doors of the past, they just keep reinforcing these themes of being trapped.
Absolutely. And Patchett's choice of a non-linear structure isn't just like a stylistic flourish. It logically mirrors the fragmented and often recursive nature of memory and trauma. It's how our minds often work.
Right.
We revisit the past, trying to make sense of it. So she systematically develops these themes of repetition, fixation, and the inherent difficulty of moving forward precisely through these recurring motifs. The eventual resolution, which is acceptance and letting go, it emerges naturally from the characters' really arduous journeys. It offers closure that feels earned, not sentimental.
She really captures that psychological weight with some incredibly powerful lines. I mean, that line, we look back through the lens of what we know now, so we're not seeing it as the people we were, we're seeing it as the people we are, and that means the past has been radically altered. That just stays with you. Or that stark image, our childhood was a fire, just boom. And the question that echoes throughout the book, do you think it's possible to ever see the past as it actually was? What do these specific choices, this language, tell us about Patchett's intent here?
That's a great question, because Patchett's ability to draw you into this world is, well, it's undeniable. Her credibility as a storyteller, her ethos, is built on her extensive work. She's an award-winning novelist, P.N. Faulkner, Orange Prize winner. She even co-owns Parnassus Books. You can feel how her own family history and her reflections on motherhood and privilege inform this novel. Apparently, she wrote it in the aftermath of the 2016 U.S. presidential election, inspired partly by contemporary celebrations of wealth and her own fears about motherhood. So she was really aiming to explore the consequences of privilege and abandonment. It's a response to these perennial questions about the power of place, the pain of loss, and just the sheer difficulty of moving on from formative trauma.
And her prose is just so elegant, isn't it? Precise, emotionally resonant, but it balances clarity with lyricism. It avoids melodrama, yet conveys such deep feeling. The Dutch house itself, as you said, it serves as this extended metaphor for memory, for loss, for that magnetic pull of the past. And those subtle fairy tale motifs throughout the book, how do they heighten the emotional stakes without becoming, too fantastical?
It's interesting how those elements function. The fairy tale motifs, like the sort of orphan children exiled from their grand home, they tap into these universal archetypal narratives. They make the siblings' plight feel both specific to them and somehow universally relatable. It resonates with a deeper, almost primal sense of injustice and longing. And what truly stands out about this book, I think, is its powerful exploration of resilience and acceptance. Despite the profound grief and resentment that defines so much of Danny and Maeve's lives, their unwavering sibling bond becomes this source of incredible strength. This isn't merely a story of loss. It's really a testament to how familial love can endure and provide a foundation for eventual healing.
But didn't you also mention earlier how that bond could also perhaps keep them trapped? How does Patchett balance those two sides of the same coin, that closeness versus that stagnation?
Exactly. That's where it gets really insightful. Patchett's subtle argument seems to be that sometimes the very intensity of familial love, particularly between siblings like Danny and Maeve, can paradoxically trap you in the past. It makes the eventual release even more profound and, frankly, difficult to achieve. Through their repeated, almost ritualistic returns to the house, Patchett vividly illustrates the psychological weight of holding on to the past. But critically, she also shows us the transformative power of finally letting go. Danny's journey, especially after Maeve's death, is such a poignant example of how even profound loss can be a catalyst for acceptance and, ultimately, a release from that self-imprisonment.
So it's not just about what happened to them, the events, but about how they choose to respond eventually.
Precisely. It demonstrates Patchett's mastery in crafting a psychologically rich exploration that, yes, it's melancholic, but it ultimately champions the necessity of forgiveness and the possibility of finding peace, even when confronting deeply rooted trauma. It's a powerful narrative about reclaiming one's future by addressing the past head-on, rather than being perpetually defined by it.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Patchett succeeds in crafting this moving, psychologically rich exploration. The book's structure, its style, they truly reinforce its central arguments about the dangers of living in the past and the necessity of forgiveness and acceptance. Now, some critics have noted the protagonist, Danny's passivity, or that the non-linear structure can challenge some readers. While I agree on the book's overall strengths, does that passivity ever feel like maybe a narrative hurdle, or does it somehow contribute to the central theme itself?
It's a fair point, and it's definitely something Patchett deliberately plays with. While Danny can seem passive, maybe frustratingly so at times, his passivity itself is really a symptom of his deep-seated trauma. It reflects his inability to escape the past's gravity. So I wouldn't call it a weakness in the narrative. It's actually a crucial aspect of his character arc. It makes his eventual hard-won move towards acceptance all the more impactful. Ultimately, the book's strengths, its deeply drawn characters, that lyrical prose, the sophisticated exploration of memory, they far outweigh any perceived weaknesses for me. This book remains highly relevant, I think, for its exploration of family, memory, and the search for home in a changing world. It's a masterful meditation on the ties that bind us, the houses we can never truly leave behind entirely, and the possibility of finding peace, even in the face of irretrievable loss. And this brings us to an important question for you, listening. What parts of your own past, or maybe even a physical place, might you be holding on to? And what might it take to finally let them go and find a measure of peace?
We really hope this deep dive into the Dutch House has sparked some new insights for you. Remember to check out Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel for more AI book analysis, and also explore our podcasts for further discussions. Subscribe for more explorations like this one, share this deep dive with someone you know who loves a good story, and maybe consider purchasing the Dutch House through the link in our description. It supports the author and lets you delve into the book yourself. Most importantly, we invite you to read The Dutch House and engage in your own critical thinking about it.